Alright, we're back with another video. I guess we'll just call Daniel into the call. Alright, here he is.
Hi.
Hello, I'm already recording, because I thought that it'd be cool to... I don't know. Don't know why. But yeah. What do you want the settings to be, Daniel?
I don't care.
Or you do care, and I know which ones you don't want, so I will leave it at that. Map. Ooh. Hmm.
Now, this video is... no, I'll save that explanation for when I start recording.
Alright. To my viewers currently, it's just another random video. Well, for my viewer, which is you, I think.
No, I don't watch your videos anymore.
Oh.
Like, I show up, and then just like fast forward through it to see if there's anything interesting,
Mm. It's kind of cool, like,
and
when I
then
watch
leave a
your
comment.
videos... Oh, we'll do that one. We haven't played this in a while. It's kind of cool seeing it from your POV.
Yeah.
Speaking of POV, what is my... I'm gonna have my field of view down to 70 and see how bad that looks.
You're weird. Alright,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start recording. Welcome. This is not just another random video. Um, this video has meaning. A couple of days ago, as of recording this, there was a complete Titanfall 2 blackout. The game was unplayable on all platforms, and to my knowledge, on a PlayStation you still can't play it. This was due to a massive DDoS attack. It was almost impossible to find games, and whenever you did find games, you could play for about a minute before getting kicked out of it. And so I've seen, and this is really difficult on
Oh.
content creators because like my channel at the moment revolves quite heavily around Titanfall 2. So when something like that happens, I can't make my content. And like my entire channel is just irrelevant because I can't make any content. I know other content creators feel this way as well. I might link one of their videos in the description because these things matter, right? These are what these people do for a living. They can't just like stop playing. This is what they do. They have a community built up. They like they have their own special communities. Like they don't want to leave. And so for them it's really hard on them.
I did
And
not
it's really
know.
hard.
I did not know that there was a Titanfall 2 outage.
Anyway, anyway. And so it's also hard on people like me who watches their content and enjoys it and, you know, gets like ideas for my videos like that. So, and then like, it's even harder on me than it normally would be because of things happening in my life at the moment. Um, yeah. Because Titanfall 2 has been one of my only escapes from things that are happening at the moment. And so when all of that gets shut down completely, and I can't play it, and I can't record, like I can't play with my friends, And, you know, this is normally bad enough because I can barely find games, and whenever I do, I'm trying to enjoy myself, so I don't record. And so, hence my content suffers. And, you know,
And
my
I
mental
suffer.
health probably suffered at
We all
some
suffer.
point.
We're all
We'll
suffering
suffer
through
from-
something.
Uh,
Which
Now, the people closest to me in my social life don't even know what's happening at home at the moment, so. And so, yeah, like, it's important to those content creators, and it's important to the fans of those content creators, because suddenly, content they watch just doesn't exist anymore. I know that Iniquity Games has suffered a lot more from this because his entire channel is Titanfall 2. He's made like 2 other videos that aren't Titanfall, and they were both Apex. And
same with
like, he
Macro
can't-
Live as well. That's another channel that does Apex and Titanfall 2. He just stopped uploading Titanfall 2 because he couldn't play it.
yeah, so what ends up happening is content slows down, and I know that people have tried to reach out to Respawn, but I think, to my knowledge, Respawn is working on fixing DDoSing to Apex,
Sounds about right.
which is absurd, because I reckon Titanfall 2 has a bigger player base and means more to a lot of people. Now, of course, I could be wrong, and I probably am, but when so many people are suffering like that, it's not easy to just sit back and watch it. And it's just not something you can sit back and watch. Because this is important. This is important to those people who rely on the game as their source of income. You know.
It's not very cool. And I wasted that.
So what ends up happening is their content creators can't stream, they can't really do anything. And like, they just can't do anything with whatever they do. Like, I know that Apex was recently DDoSed into oblivion with the hashtag Save Titanfall thing happening to their lobby. Titanfall 1 has become physically unplayable on PC, to my knowledge, and I think some of the other platforms as well, but it's not easy, right? Like, I used to play Star Wars Battlefront 2, and when that game died out, it was hard to really accept, because, you know, I spent almost 1,000 hours in that game, and suddenly what I did for most of my weekends and free time was gone. And like, that's different from this because that was by will of the player base that the game died out. And so it's a lot easier to see why that would happen. That still doesn't justify what's happening to the Titanfall player base at the moment. And so when people, you know, they start DDoSing other games to get Respawn's attention, it's not good. So what ends up happening is they're just ruining other games, diverting Respawn's attention. And This sounded a lot better when Iniquity did it, but this game means something to a lot of people. Suddenly you can't play the game at all, and like people just don't know what to do because suddenly, you know, a game that they chose to play, like they physically can't because someone has done something highly illegal. Because yes, DDoSing is illegal. I checked.
Well, I'd hope so. Oh, no.
And so what? It's just. And when, like, Respawn has no, to my knowledge, Respawn has no leads on who is actually doing it. Yeah, so when whole communities are shut down, it's not easy, but when they're shut down by force, it's... You can't just stand by and let something like that happen.
And they didn't even give a reason, which makes it even worse.
Especially since Respawn seems, you know, wholeheartedly devoted to Apex Legends at the moment. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't, you know, don't blame anyone, don't blame Respawn for this. This is not their doing. They are not deliberately letting this happen, but their attention is currently not on Titanfall. And yeah, don't try and draw Respawn's attention to Titanfall. It doesn't work. During that day of the blackout, it was creators couldn't. In fact, most streamers of Titanfall 2 that I know of cannot play multiplayer because of, you know, DDoSing and getting blacklisted. And so what they end up having to do is you know, make more alts, buy the game more. And, you know, spend more money on a game that is constant, that they can barely play. And which brings me to my next point of Respawn still selling Titanfall 1 on Steam and Origin. Like, it's not okay, you physically can't play it. DDoS has filled the lobbies with bots, so that you can't find a game, and even when you do find a game, your ping just steadily rises until you're kicked out.
How do they do that though? How do they change your ping?
They just slow down the connections. Who joined?
Ethan joined. I'm gonna server mute him just in case he ruins the mood.
He ruins the moment, yeah.
Alright, keep it going.
Yeah, so pretty much that's it. And I just want to say thank you to anyone who has been actively trying to, you know, be a nice person during, you know, because National Victoria is going into another
again.
snap lockdown. The news came in like an hour ago.
Not even that, and still next Tuesday.
And like there may be an upside to that. Like, there's a possibility that it will be lifted early, but it's unlikely. And so it's even harder on students because suddenly because I know that during remote learning I had a lot of trouble. All rounds of remote learning I had a lot of trouble focusing. You know, especially because of things happening at home at the moment.
And it's not just school and games. I don't know if anyone's heard of Nexus. Have you heard of Nexus, Daniel?
I have.
Yeah. Well, it's practically a play, and it's where homeless people get an opportunity to perform, and the church gets a chance to do all that, and they do plays, and it gives people motivations. But that's been cancelled because of COVID. And then when people want to go this salt and play games, they can't
because they're just getting DDoSed. And now games like Minecraft, it's too big to be DDoSed because they have non-dedicated servers by the developers. No, because like servers like Hypixel and Mineplex, Windcraft, they can't be DDoSed because they're external servers. Whereas games that are, AAA games that are primarily multiplayer, they have dedicated servers that are run by the developers. And then once those servers begin to shut down, like, that's it. I know that the Black and White servers for like Pokemon Black and White, those servers were shut down a long time after the player base of the multiplayer actually died out. So like that didn't matter, but when things, I say again, when things are forcibly taken away, it makes things a lot worse. Do you have anything to add to this?
I don't really. I didn't really notice that there was a blackout until you mentioned it, and I didn't really realize that it would hurt people until, well, you mentioned it, so I think you've kind of said everything.
This is weird. I rarely make speeches, right? Like, when it's compulsory to make a speech, my speech would be like 1 or 2 minutes long. And, like, it'll be on some kind of topic that no one understands, and, like, that's my specialty topic. And so, like, I rarely make speeches, and then I try and do this, and like, I feel connected to this community because I am part of, I'm part of this community. I want to know that, this game will survive through the DDoSing. But at this point, it's not looking good. Because, like, the continual just continuously being DDoSed, and there being periods where you cannot play at all, and no one enjoys that. Now, I probably don't have any right to say any of this. I've probably been wrong multiple times, but I care about this community because I am part of it, and even if I wasn't part of it, I would still want to help. Because I know that when my friends, when my friends were having a tough time, I helped them through it, and now there's just not any time. Titanfall 2 is getting DDoSed into oblivion every other week. You can barely find a game normally. Titanfall Day, you got a spike of players there, and then that almost instantly died out with the next DDoS attack. And it's just, no one enjoys that. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
It was glitching for me, just saying.
No, I will be fine in the recording, because I record off my computer.
Okay. Well,
do you have anything to add?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay.
But oh yes, I do. I think we need more small or big. We just need more YouTubers or content creators to recognize Titanfall 2, just to get more players so that we can play. That's my opinion.
People who recognize the game and are promoting it in spite of what's happening. Thank you for watching. This has been a while in the making. I started doing this last night. I thought up some arguments and things. So this has been really difficult for me because I simply don't, because I don't play any other games at the moment. You know, Titanfall's my thing, and I feel like I'm a valued part of its community because, you know, I play the game, I return after every DDoS attack. You know, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this is a bit dispirited for you, but it's just necessary that we know what's happening, because I know that when our first lockdown started, I didn't understand why, and you know, I hated it. So I understand what being in the dark feels like. Yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Draconic Entity and the Coops.